everybody, this is 22 Tiger Dude here, and I'm here to review Top Gun to celebrate the 4th of July because America. But before I do give my opinion on Top Gun, my awesome guest star Joe Tufano is going to give his take on the film as well as give you the plot synopsis of the film. So Joe Tufano, take it away, man.
What's up, everybody, at 22 Tiger Dude's channel? I'm Joe, and today I'm feeling the need for speed. Today I'm here to talk about Top Gun. It's a classic 80s movie and somewhat of a guilty pleasure, and it's one of those movies where you just want to go, excuse my French, America, fuck yeah, America, fuck yeah, you know. It's one of those things. It's patriotic as hell, and it just doesn't care. It just goes all the way with it. It's directed by Tony Scott, produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, and stars Tom Cruise, Kelly McGillis, and Val Kilmer, and a few people that you may or may not recognize. Tom Cruise plays Maverick, who is a pilot in the U.S. Navy. He's a very skilled pilot, but he's also very cocky, too sure of himself, and he likes to show off to his other fellow sailors and pilots and all that stuff. And his partner, Goose, played by Anthony Gordon, I believe that's his name, he is his good pal and kind of like the voice of reason, you would say, because he's a little bit more reserved compared to Tom Cruise's character, who's very out there and outgoing. Maverick and Goose are sent to Top Gun School, which is a school for pilots in the Navy to train to become some of the best pilots in the U.S. Navy. And one of those guys is Iceman, played by Val Kilmer. Oh god, why did I do that? That's kind of a creepy bite, I don't know. And Iceman is a bit like Maverick. He's a bit cocky and a bit of a hothead and likes to compete with Maverick a little bit and call him out on his crap, if you know what I mean. And Tom Cruise's character proves to be a very skilled pilot during the courses, but he also has a tendency to show off, which gets him in trouble a lot with his instructors at the school. And along the way, he has a relationship with Kelly McGillis' character, who is a contractor, I would say, for the U.S. Navy. And it's not one of those cliched love interests that you usually see and stuff like this. She has good chemistry with Tom Cruise. You buy their bond and their interactions. And Kelly McGillis, she actually looks pretty good here. This was back in the 80s. Well, whatever. I think this movie came out in 1986, and when it came out, a lot of critics didn't really care for this one too much, and some people were just kind of, it was fine. But over time, it's gotten to be more popular, and a lot of people view it as a classic now, and there's so many iconic scenes in here with the plane fights, flying sequences, and the quotes, obviously, like the need for speed, Iceman's name, Maverick, all that stuff. And the music, Take My Breath Away, which was later covered by Jessica Simpson back in the early to mid-2000s, I would say. And the music, I mean, I just love 80s music. And the music in this movie just screams 80s, and I love it. I love it. I also like the interactions between the pilots and the sense of camaraderie that you feel between the pilots. And I'm in the military, so I kind of like that. And I like it when it's portrayed in a believable way. It's not done in a cliched way. They have arguments. They don't always get along, especially since they're competing to be pilots. I don't really see how that's unrealistic. Because, you know, we all want to be number one in life in some way, don't we? And if you haven't seen the movie, I won't spoil anything for you. But what I also like is how Maverick changes and grows more as a character throughout the movie, with certain events happening during his training where it shakes him a little bit and he's forced to reevaluate his whole style and how he's able to become more of a better pilot, be more of a team member. And I have to mention Tom Cruise. He's Tom Cruise. He's awesome. I mean, say what you want about his Scientology beliefs, but the guy's proven to be a really great actor over like 20 years or so, 20, 30 years. Damn. Everybody in this movie is on their A game. The directing is done really well. Some of the writing is great. You have some funny lines. And the music is really good. The movie looks really good too. I like that whole 80s vibe that you get from it. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about Top Gun. It's pretty awesome. If you're in the mood for something like this on the 4th of July, go ahead and watch it. It makes you go, yes! I like movies like that once in a while. So thank you, 22 Tiger Dude, for having me on your channel talking about Top Gun. And back to you.
Thank you so much, Joe Tufano, for reviewing Top Gun. So, Top Gun is a really awesome movie. The minute you do hear all these 80s music playing, this movie just absolutely screams 80s all over it, and it's awesome. I really enjoyed Top Gun. I think this is an awesome movie. It's an absolute blast to watch. And this movie is patriotic whether we like it or not. This movie does not really give a damn. It just goes for it, and that's what I respect about Top Gun. Tom Cruise is very great in this role. He plays a character that's very cocky. He just does his own thing. He's a complete show-off with all of his flying skills in the Air Force. As the movie progresses, as Joe stated, you know, his character does change And when you see his character change, there's a little more depth to his character. And I mean, there's depth to him when he's cocky and all, but when he has a growth, when he gets to that point where he's all like, okay, he needs to start taking things a little more seriously, you really do get behind him. And one thing I gotta give Tom Cruise credit for is that whenever you get these cliches where a character starts off all cocky and show-offy, sometimes in movies when that happens, the character could get on my nerves. That's not really the case for Top Gun, because even though this character for at least half of the movie is so cocky and so much of a show-off, he doesn't come off as annoying to me. And I don't know if it's because Tom Cruise just has that likability to him, but he really pulls off being this cocky character without coming off as annoying. Kelly McGillis is really great here as the character of Charlie, Maverick's love interest. And I have to say that the two of them have really good chemistry with each other. For the most part, I bought into their romance. I thought they did a very nice job just interacting with each other, and I did like where their romantic story was going with each other. There was a very strong connection. Val Kilmer is really great in here too. He's Maverick's nemesis. You also have Tim Robbins in a small role here. Meg Ryan also in a small role. She does a really good job. Everyone in this movie does a really good job with their roles. It is a very well directed movie from Tony Scott, who really knows how to make beautiful shots in his movies, because the way the movie looks is very relaxing to look at because of the overall scenery with the sun, and the airplane sequences in Top Gun are really badass. They're filmed so well, they're thrilling, they're intense. You really feel like you're on those airplanes because of how Tony Scott films this movie. The script is also very well written. It's brilliant actually, and I think it does a very good job of us really caring about pretty much all of the characters, whether their roles are small. Like Val Kilmer, even though he played Tom Cruise's nemesis, you know, even in some weird way, I cared about the guy. He wasn't one of those typical, oh, I hate you. Like, you could see that he didn't like Tom Cruise, but at the same time, you could see that he does have some kind of respect for him. As far as the flaw I have with this movie, I could just say that there's just a few times where Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis's romance plot I felt was cheesy, gets a little overly sappy. It feels forced. Like, there's a few times where the movie just kind of shoves it in your face and goes, oh, look at these two, they're so in love. And just a couple of times I felt like the romance kind of detracted from the main plot with Tom Cruise and the U.S. Force. Top Gun is a great movie, and I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 4 stars. Hell yeah, America. So everyone, in the comments down below, let me know, what did you think of Top Gun? And I also want to give a huge thank you to Joe Tufano for reviewing Top Gun with me. He's a very cool dude. He has a great channel. He reviews movies. He loves movies. He loves to talk about them. So if you guys want to check out his channel, which I highly recommend, I will leave a link in the description below. Have a happy 4th of July. This is 22 Tiger Dude here, and don't forget that I will always have Tiger Power.